on ESPN. It's not too often you can enjoy a 40-degree December afternoon in DeKalb, but hey, we will take it. Welcome to Husky Stadium, where it's been a tough year for traditionally two of the best in the MAC. Northern Illinois looking for their first win against the Toledo Rockets. Toledo coming in a record of 2-2. Unfortunately, the top storyline today in the MAC has been COVID-19. Not one, but two games canceled. Yesterday, we found out Kent State at Miami wiped off the docket. And then earlier this morning, Buffalo, about 2.5 hours away from Athens, found out they had to turn around and go back home. Ohio and Buffalo canceled. Obviously, with those two games, major implications out east. Buffalo in the driver's seat. They have winless Akron next Saturday, a Buffalo win, and they will be the East representative in the MAC championship. Plenty of offensive firepower in this one. Let's start with Toledo, and they truly have a dual threat running back in Bryant Kobach. The Kentucky transfer has really blossomed in his second year on campus, not only as a running back, but as a receiver. Expect him to get a lot of touches in that passing game entering today, Toledo's top target. And with their vertical threats, we'll see if Northern Illinois allows him to have a field day catching the ball out of the backfield. But Kobach, their main offensive weapon, and the question remains who will be under center for the Rockets. Meanwhile, for Northern Illinois, that passing game has been on fire of late, and they have been led by Tyrese Ritchie. You know, for so many years, it was Kenny Galladay. Well, Ritchie is putting up Galladay-type numbers in DeKalb last week against Western Michigan. 12 catches, 131 yards, back-to-back 100-yard games for Ritchie and the Huskies, and the fifth-year senior has Northern Illinois believing. The Huskies, the Rockets, the two winningest programs over the past decade in the MAC. Who will add one more to that total? We'll find out on a sunny. For December, 37 degrees is like a heat wave here in the Midwest. Absolutely gorgeous conditions, mostly sunny. The wind will not be a factor. We're expecting the temperatures to slide up into the low 40s by the time we go deeper into the afternoon. Two of the youngest coaches squaring off today. There's a good look at Jason Candle, the 41-year-old, year number 5, guiding the Rockets. He was the 2017 MAC Coach of the Year, taking over the program following Matt Campbell's departure to Iowa State. Thomas Hammock is in year 2 in DeKalb, and you could just sense the excitement in his voice talking with him this week about this freshman class. They are one of the youngest teams in the country, so patience right now, the name of the game if you're Northern Illinois, and Hammock's certainly excited with what he has done with the last 2 recruiting classes. Toledo won the toss. They elected to defer, so it will be Northern Illinois to get the football first. Two teams who have been involved in a number of close games this year. In fact, last weekend was just a microcosm of how the season has went for these two programs. Toledo falling behind big early to Ball State, rallied late only to come up just short. Same story for Northern Illinois as they nearly upset Western Michigan in Kalamazoo. We are underway from DeKalb. Trayvon Rudolph from the 8. Rudolph, the spectacular return man, one of those freshmen that we'll be talking about. Cut up at the 25 up to the 26-yard line, and that's where the Huskies will start shot. Ross Bowers, the transfer from California, second year with the program for Northern Illinois, coming off a strong game last week, threw for 3 touchdowns, did not turn the football over, and that was a problem with Northern over the first couple of weeks. You see his numbers, 5 touchdowns, just the 2 interceptions, and he's going to test this secondary, and he wants deep, looking for his receiver Robinson, and it's through his fingertips, incomplete. He had a step, and he beat Justin Clark along the Northern sideline. So a missed opportunity early for the Huskies. And you'll see a little bit more up-tempo style from what we've seen in previous seasons. Patton, the big veteran center up front for Northern Illinois. Deontay Johnson, a very active inside linebacker for Toledo. A couple of athletes to keep an eye on today. They'll try the ground game for the first time. Nice change of direction up past the 30 to the 33-yard line. An 8-yard gallop for the youngster. And coming up a little bit gimpy is Harrison Whaley, the freshman from Johnston, Iowa. I mean, you look at Northern Illinois, and they are just young up and down with the exception of the quarterback position. You have experience with Bowers, but up front they're young, the backfield young, and even the receiving core with some youth. Whaley exits the game. Aaron Collins checks in on this third down play. 3rd and a yard. Bowers is going to throw, wants it over the middle, and it's caught right at the sticks. At the 37-yard line, tackled by Sam Womack, but the Huskies keep the drive alive. Northern Illinois able to pick up the first down. Remember, this is a team last week that just controlled the clock. 40 minutes in the time of possession. They ran 80 plays against the Bronco D. And now the game's first flag, and this will go on Northern Illinois. Look like some movement up front.
False start, number 7, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Marcus Cox at left tackle, the redshirt sophomore. Ron Hudson is our referee today with this MAC crew. Week 5 of the 6-game MAC schedule. 2 of the MAC contests canceled today because of COVID-19. So after the penalty, back to the 32, 1st and 15. Bowers looking left. He wants to go deep. One-on-one coverage, and this one out of bounds. Good coverage on the play by the veteran Womack. He gave the receiver no room to work. They were looking for Ritchie, who's been the main weapon. What a start for Tyrese Ritchie. 3 100-yard games this year for Northern Illinois. Last guy to do that was Kenny Galladay. Remember, Galladay posted the 4 100-yard games back in 2016. So Ritchie has emerged as the go-to guy, really a favored target for Bowers. 2nd down and 15. Bowers feels the heat, dumps it off to his back, making the catch up to the 40, falling ahead to the 43-yard line. Good gain on the play, sets up a manageable 3rd down. Harrison Whaley, good to see him back in there. We saw him limp off the field after his first carry. And Whaley's one of those guys. He's not big, 5'10", 180, but he had 28 touches last week. And they are really excited what he can do. And one of those guys, despite the small stature, has not missed one practice and showed last week that he can handle a pretty heavy load. Third down and 4. Cut back by Whaley, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Penetration coming through by Devin Rogers as he was able to knife his way through the center of that offensive line. And Northern Illinois will send out the punting unit. The Huskies able to move the sticks once, but the drive stalls near midfield. And here comes Matt Ferentz, the 4-year punter, the record holder for NIU. As he sends a line drive, returnable kick at the 21. Toledo out past the 30, up ahead to the 35, pushed out of bounds. That's Ronnie Blackman, the Colorado transfer, but a flag is down in the vicinity of a hole.
Holding, number 27, return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Take a look at the right side of the screen. A little hold right there, trying to allow Blackman to get to the corner. It's Quinion Mitchell on the edge, so First flag of the day on Toledo, and this will pin them a little bit deeper as the Rockets get ready to roll. And there is Carter Bradley. So the first question gets answered. Eli Peters knocked out of the game late last week. We weren't sure if he would be able to go. It was truly a game time decision. So Bradley making just his third career start. We'll try to get this offense going. Isaiah Winstead with the catch. Bradley, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida. He is a coach's son. His father, Gus, the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers, spent some time as the head coach at Jacksonville. So you know he is going to be prepared, and he has had all week to get ready for this moment.
False start. Number 14, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Eli Peters, the senior, injured twice this season. He was knocked out of 2 games. Sustained a leg injury in the contest against Eastern Michigan. And then late last week in the rally against Ball State, he came up gimpy as well. So unable to go, and the shoulder of the offense now with Bradley, and he's going to zip that arm and throw a strike. First down, a lot of cushion given by the Huskies secondary up to the 36-yard line. That's Danzel McKinley-Lewis. A lot of weapons for Bradley to utilize when you look at this receiving fleet. McKinley-Lewis, Devin Maddox, Winstead, and Ronnie Blackman, and Bryce Mitchell. So he has some options. And then, as we talked about in the open, with the ability of Bryant Koback as a receiver out of the backfield. So he has plenty of options to throw. On first down, he will keep it on the fake out past the 40, 45, and then smartly skips to safety after he gallops for 11 yards and a first down. Carter Bradley, 6'3", 210-pounder, started 2 games last year for the Rockets, including the regular season finale against Central Michigan. Has time to throw, and he fires a strike. That's Winstead, his second catch of the day, and he'll haul it in at the 36. Gain of 17 yards, and the Rockets looking sharp, in particular Carter Bradley on this opening drive. Isaiah Winstead, big target, 6'3", 210-pounders. He's the Norfolk State transfer. Close to 300 yards receiving over the last 2 weeks, so he has emerged as the go-to guy. Play fake on the slant. This one too tall and nearly intercepted. Jordan Gandy, the transfer from South Dakota State, nearly had his hands on that ball that went whipping by the intended target. Gandy was a busy customer last week. He was responsible for trying to slow down one of the more explosive players in the conference, and Dwayne Eskridge. He nearly had his second pick of the year. Koback with a late emerging hole up the head to the 28-yard line. 7 yards for Bryant Koback. Got to believe this is 4-down territory if you're Toledo. They've had issues in the kicking game. Evan Davis is a starting kicker to begin the year. He's been replaced by Thomas Clucky. At the 29, they will stay on the ground with Koback, and he will be denied. Stood up at the line of scrimmage, this young Northern Illinois defense, forcing an early decision for Jason Candle and the Rocket offense. It's like the offense is going to stay on the field as expected. We're going to bring out Ronnie Blackman, some late changes. Mitchell, who had a couple of touchdown catches last week, he'll come to the near side as a receiver. Big play early in this game. 4th down and 2 for the Rockets. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Koback looking for the cutback, and he has it. Picks up the first down and then some as he's twisted down inside the red zone by Devin Lafayette. But a 4th down conversion for Toledo And look at this cutback by Kovac and over-aggressive defense. And you're going to see some of those youthful mistakes by this freshman defensive line. You're looking at 3 freshmen in the top 6, and they're 2 deep. So that time a little bit too zealous with the pursuit. First down inside the red zone for the Rockets. Bradley puts Blackman in motion. Flag flies, and this play will be blown dead before it could get started. 3rd penalty on Toledo in this opening quarter.
Ball start. Number 78. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Penalties have been an issue for the Rockets. That has been one of their big reasons why they currently sit 2-2. Last week, 12 penalties. Second time in 4 games they've been guilty of 12 infractions. So that has been an area of concern, and a lot of it with this offensive line is because they've just been so banged up. And we'll talk more about that as we go deeper into this broadcast. First down and 15 over the middle, knocked away. He was looking for Winstead. C.J. Brown got a hand in it. Pass a bit behind Winstead. That allowed Brown to make the adjustment as Bradley really rifled it. And you're seeing some of that arm strength. That was what the coaches all talked about. When you watch Carter Bradley throw the football, his arm strength is spectacular. And he's replacing the veteran Eli Peters, who was having a good year. Look at that touchdown to interception ratio, 9-2. As we talked about, leaving the game last week because of an injury and unable to go today. Second down, Bradley with some time, floats, front of the end zone, caught for the touchdown, McKinley Lewis. Able to beat Gandy. McKinley Lewis with his 2nd touchdown of the year. And Carter Bradley with the soft touch. Good job by the back to pick up the delayed blitz, and then almost a back shoulder type throw to McKinley Lewis, who had beat Gandy in the man-to-man coverage. And it's Toledo who fires the opening salvo. Well, the questions coming in about Carter Bradley, I'd say he answered them pretty soundly. 4 of 6 on an opening drive. The soft touch, the floater to McKinley Lewis. Rockets draw first blood in DeKalb. Danzel McKinley Lewis with his 2nd receiving touchdown this season. The 6th-year senior took a red shirt in 2015, was able to come back from a pretty ugly injury, dislocated his elbow in 2018. He's one of those guys they can plug everywhere in the offense, and Carter Bradley looked really sharp on his opening drive. Remember, Bradley, even though he has that sophomore tag, he started a couple of games last year, did not turn the ball over in the regular season finale against Central Michigan, a game the Chips just pulled away from Toledo in 49-7. And Bradley has been called upon in some key moments this year out of the bullpen, and he certainly looked in control of the offense on that opening drive, and Toledo off to a much better start than what they experienced a week ago with Ball State. Drive number 2 for Bowers and the Huskies. Northern Illinois down 7 in DeKalb. Tyrese Ritchie is on quite a run for Northern Illinois. Look at the ranks, leads the MAC, 39 catches. That's 2nd in the NCAA, only trailing Ole Miss's Elijah Moore. Over 400 receiving yards, close to 10 catches per game for Ritchie, who originally committed to Northern Illinois in high school, but he ran into some academic issues, was able to get that straightened out. Spent a couple of years at Dodge City Community College and had some issues off the field last year in DeKalb, but boy, he has put it all together, and he has been the go-to guy for Ross Bowers and this offense. Down 7-0. They try to get Whaley going, but he is straddled at the line of scrimmage. Deontay Johnson, one of the free-flowing inside linebackers, able to bring down Whaley. Up-tempo style this year from Eric Eidness. See Northern Illinois use a lot of different speeds where they rush up to the line of scrimmage and try to get a quick snap off, or in instances like this where they're checking over toward the sideline with Bowers. Second down, Toledo rushes 4, passes caught on the drag route at midfield, up ahead to the 39-yard line. Time to throw, and it's Rudolph, the true freshman out of Crete Money, able to haul it in. Look at the protection. They run a stun up front with the Rockets, but that opens up a window for Bowers to see, and Trayvon Rudolph, so good once he catches the football, elusive speed. Rudolph, one of the 3 Huskies this season to be awarded a scholarship by Thomas Hammock. First down, big hole opens up, and it's Whaley for 8 yards. So this is a good-looking counterpunch by Northern Illinois. Toledo marches it right down the field in their opening drive, and now the Huskies get the big pass completion to Rudolph, and Whaley on first down picks up 8. Quick moving first quarter, inside 6 minutes to go. Rockets up 7-0. Bowers on second and short, looking left, now feels the pressure, throws that way, and a big-time hit put on. Pass is caught by Daniel Crawford, but he paid the price. Tyson Anderson, the 2-time captain, said hello. And now Crawford, I think, is feeling the effects of it. He went down. He was able to get back to the huddle, but then he went down on one knee, and quickly the coaches and players spotted that. And an injury timeout for Daniel Crawford. Boy, he's been a stand-up guy for this Husky program, the 6th-year senior. And, well, Thomas Hammock and offensive coordinator Eric Idness had nothing but praise for this tough-nosed senior, as you see the clean hit by Anderson. That's a big boy collision in the MAC right there. Tyson Anderson using his shoulders perfectly. The 2-time captain, he's one of the leaders. He is the leader of that back end. Liam Sorahan replacing Crawford at tight end on first down. Good hole, hop skipping inside the 20 to the 15. 10-5 touchdown, Harrison Whaley. A quick hitter for Whaley, and look at the hole open up. And then Whaley with that vision and speed. And there was little resistance once he broke through the front wave. John Champ, Braden Patton, and Logan Schernitz, that center of the Northern Illinois offensive line, opening up the hole. And you saw the patience and the poise by Whaley. And then once he hit the hole, he was gone. Harrison Whaley coming off a career game last week. He touched the ball 28 times. His 4th touch of the day today, goes for 6. We're tied at 7. Offensive coordinator Eric Idness told us on the conference call this week it was only a matter of time before Harrison Whaley was going to break a big one. And Whaley, with that 28-yard touchdown, has evened this game up. Whaley, who did not see a lot of time at running back his senior year at high school because of an injury, has really emerged as the go-to guy in this backfield. It features Aaron Collins and Rondarius Gregory. And remember, they lost a ton to graduation. Trey Harbison, Marcus Jones, Jordan Nettles, some of the running backs the past couple of years, all gone. So like so many parts to this football program, it was a reloading, and some of these highly touted recruits starting to make some noise offensively for Northern Illinois. Danzel McKinley Lewis on the return, out past the 30, where Carter Bradley and company will get their second crack at this Husky defense. Carter Bradley, if you're just joining us, in there for the injured Eli Peters, and he had firm control of the offense on the opening drive. 4 of 6, 59 yards. He had the touchdown pass to McKinley Lewis. So let's see what adjustments defensive coordinator Derek Jackson and this Husky defense will throw at Bradley. Series number 2 for the Rockets on first down. Little hitch is batted, still caught despite the deflection at the line of scrimmage. The wobbler found the mark. A gain of 6 up near the 40. One thing when you look at Isaiah Winstead, it's the size that he has. 6'3", 215-pounder. Played high school for Highland Springs. Spent a couple of years at Norfolk State. Last year he was on the scout team for Toledo. Taking a shot down the seam, looking for Mitchell, incomplete. Good coverage by Dylan Thomas. But going back to Winstead, Jason Candle said this guy just had the right mindset all of last year. He really embraced the playbook, embraced his role being a part of the scout team. And then when you got veteran leaders like Bryce Mitchell and company to rely on, that's a pretty dangerous combination, and he has made the most of it. 14 catches. Look at the yards per catch. Over 20 yards a touch for Winstead. He's been a busy target early on. Pressure comes. Look at the poise by Bradley as he finds Rossi, the tight end, and a third down conversion for the Rockets. Nick Ratine unable to keep up with Rossi, but how about the poise by Bradley? He felt the heat. See him on the check down at the last second, and Rossi with just his 3rd catch of the year. They don't use the tight ends a lot in the passing game, but that time he keeps the drive alive, and Carter Bradley continuing to impress in his first start this season. Kovac leaves the lineup. Micah Kelly replaces him. 2nd down and 10. In motion goes Devin Maddox. Bradley stepping up. Guns and a wide open receiver. That's Rossi again. He'll make the catch up ahead to the 26. 22 yards on the completion to Rossi. And the Husky secondary having a tough time with the senior tight end. And the thing early on, you see Bradley take the punishment, but still hang in the pocket, and that's twice now on this drive. Toledo on the march. Thomas Hammock trying to get the attention of the official and call a timeout, and he finally did. Hammock spotted something right away, and he was frantically trying to get the attention of the side judge, and the Huskies will use a timeout. This defense reeling a little bit thanks to Carter Bradley and his arm.
Northern Illinois.
Bradley has already thrown for over 100 yards in this first quarter, and the Husky D trying to figure some things out to slow down this passing attack. The youth of Northern Illinois, and really it's both sides of the football, not just on defense, but also offense. 81 underclassmen this year. That puts them at 73% of their roster. Only Oregon has a younger squad in the country, and with 60 freshmen, 21 sophomores, a couple of powerful recruiting classes for Thomas Hammock. He knew there might be some growing pains this season, but they have showed flashes of what the future might hold, and it might be a pretty special one for the black and red. After the timeout, 1st and 10. Bradley guns it, and it's intercepted. It was a wobbler picked off by Jordan Hansen, and the Husky defense comes away with the takeaway. Second time that a Husky defensive lineman has got a hand up. Damon Taylor this time. Big number 97 with that left paw. And that deflected it right into the waiting arms of Jordan Hansen, the true freshman from Arlington Heights. Hansen, a local product. He's all pumped. Thought he might take that football with him. For Jordan Hansen, that's his second interception this year. He was an outstanding prep quarterback for John Hersey. That time with the interception and the drive stalls, and they will go right back to Whaley. And how about this start by Harrison Whaley? 9 more yards. 6 touches, 54 yards on the ground for Whaley in this first quarter. Bowers making sure everybody's in the right spot. A little hitch pattern. There's Tyrese Ritchie with the catch. Ritchie just carrying the defender with him. That's Justin Clark. And Northern Illinois all of a sudden appears to have found some rhythm offensively. Took it right down the field on their last drive, mixing in the run and the pass. Here it's the 1-2 punch. Whaley on the ground, Ritchie through the air. 9 yards per touch for Whaley. And this young offensive line. It's an offensive line whose average age is 19. Just incredible up front when you have Schernitz, the redshirt freshman, Champ, the true freshman, at the 2 guard positions. Another shot deep downfield. Ritchie has a step, and he'll make the catch. Over the shoulder grab. Ritchie holds it in as he beats Zach Ford. You see the cornerback blitz. Clark came in. The safety over the top, Ford, was a little late with that help out. And Ritchie, on a perfectly thrown dime by Bowers, hauls it in. 43 yards on the completion, and Northern Illinois is inside the red zone. Whaley the back out of the pistol. He will stretch it left. Whaley inside the 15, squares up the pads. Watching Tyrese Ritchie this week on film, he doesn't have Galladay's height or size, but he has the hands, and he's so dynamic once he makes the catch. That's where he gets a lot of his yards. 5th-year senior, 23 catches over his last 2 games coming into this one today, and already 3 grabs for 56 yards in this first quarter. 2nd down and 7. Bowers puts some air to it. Ritchie unable to haul this one in. Some contact, and here come the flags. This is a real good matchup when you look at Justin Clark and Tyrese Ritchie. Toledo has some skill at the corner position with Clark, Womack, and McDonald. Clark, who was limited last year to just 2 games because of a shoulder injury, that had allowed Chris McDonald to get some serious reps as a freshman. And now with a healthy Clark back, Toledo was feeling pretty good about their secondary coming into this season.
Pass interference, number 24, defense. The penalty occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
So we take one more look. It's Clark with the contact. He had that right arm, that right hand locked with Ritchie. See him turning the head, but there's the hook right there with his right arm, preventing Ritchie from getting his left arm up to make the catch. And with the penalty in the end zone, Northern Illinois will have it 1st and goal from the 2. And it's an all too familiar sight for Rocket fans. These penalties have just killed them this year. Whaley the back, 1st and goal. Northern Illinois trying to take their first lead of the game. Tight end in motion. Whaley on a fake. It will be Bowers keeping it, and he is swallowed up. Gang tackling that time by Toledo. David Hood, Darius Alexander, a couple of the big bodies along with Desjuan Johnson. And that will take us to the 2nd quarter. Northern Illinois in no hurry to fire off another play, and a stalemate after 1 quarter of action in DeKalb. Thomas Hammock and the Huskies searching for win number 1, a very young unit. A freshman Hansen with a pick, a freshman Whaley with a touchdown. We're tied at 7 after 1. Carter Bradley with an early touchdown pass for Toledo. Harrison Whaley, a touchdown run for Northern Illinois, and the Huskies knocking on the doorstep as we start quarter number 2 from a sunny DeKalb. You take a look at the two quarterbacks. Bradley, 7 of 11. He's looked good. He had that one deflected ball at the line of scrimmage, which was picked off in the red zone. Very efficient. Ross Bowers throwing for 106 yards in the first quarter, but Whaley running with the football has been the difference maker. Bowers to throw, looking right, floats right, undershot his guy. He had Crawford at the front of the end zone, and he took the second option, and it just short hopped Dennis Robinson. Plenty of offense after 15 minutes. The balance from Northern Illinois. Whaley running with the football. Haven't seen a lot of Bryant Koback. You can expect that to change as we go deeper into the afternoon. Big play early in this game. This could be big for the Toledo D. 3rd down and goal. Bowers with time. Fires it toward Crawford. Makes the catch. He's in. Touchdown, Huskies. Good to see Crawford back out there. Remember, he was banged up on the hit by Anderson earlier. But the sure-handed tight end able to beat Ford in front of the pylon. And for Daniel Crawford, the 6th-year senior, his first touchdown grab of the season. That one has to feel good. He's really become one of the vocal leaders, one of the elder statesmen on this young Northern Illinois squad. 7-play, 78-yard drive. It's Crawford with the touchdown catch. The Huskies make the Rockets pay for the turnover. Northern grabs their first lead. The fall of 2020 has been about overcoming adversity, and senior Daniel Crawford has done just that throughout his career here in DeKalb. He missed all of 2018 with a knee injury. Last season, it was really a crowded tight end room. You had Mitchell Brinkman, part of the tight end core for Northern Illinois, which has always been a strength for the Huskies. Brinkman transferred this offseason to South Florida, so that opened up an opportunity for Crawford to be the main guy. And not only has he performed throughout his career on the field, but this season maybe more than ever, his leadership, his vocal role with this young team. So valuable for Northern Illinois. McKinley Lewis with some hesitation and a big blunder by Toledo as they will have their backs against the goal line. The indecisiveness, first not catching the ball in the air by Danzel McKinley Lewis after he deflected it. You see, he misread the ball. And with that tip,
the ruling on the field is that the receiving team member touched the ball prior to it going into the end zone. First down, Toledo from the 2.
So you heard the explanation as we were getting to it, and McKinley Lewis, who's a veteran, you know, he'll be one of those players that you count on just with a mental mistake. And the Rockets and Bradley deep in their own end from the 2-yard line. Let's see how Bradley responds. He wants to take a shot. Wide open. It's Winstead. He'll make the catch. Breathing room for Toledo. A gain of 20. Winstead with his 4th catch of the afternoon. Boy, I love that from Toledo, though. And head coach Jason Candle, who also serves as the offensive coordinator, not playing it conservative there. You trust your quarterback, you trust your receivers, and just like that, 20 yards. Rockets from the 22-yard line. Bradley with a play fake, quick throw over the middle. Again, it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, but Jamal Turner was able to haul it in. He was so open. 18 more yards and a first down to the seldom used tight end Turner. 3rd time today that the Huskies have been able to get a hand on the football, but Bradley had enough velocity to whip that one in there to the tight end despite the deflection. So following 2 plays, Toledo's marched it close to midfield. Carter Bradley's going to improvise. He will take off, and he's upended by Jordan Hansen. The safety coming in low on the quarterback. Good job there by Bradley to pick up what he could. Able to get 10 yards on the scramble on a first down. It's a part of the game we weren't expecting. Remember, Daquan Finn is the highly touted freshman quarterback. He's serving in the backup role today for Toledo. He's known for his running ability, and Carter Bradley a couple of double-digit carries in this first half. Micah Kelly gets his first call, and he is hit by Ratine. Gain of 3 by Kelly brings up second down 7. Kelly, the redshirt freshman out of Ocean Springs High School. There's the backup quarterback, Daquan Finn, the redshirt freshman from Detroit. Utilizing his redshirt last year, played in 3 games for the Rockets. Time for Bradley to throw, and look at the cushion being given right now by Northern Illinois. 10-yard cushion given by these Husky corners, and Winstead with an easy catch. Simple throw and catch on the out route for Carter Bradley. 11 more yards, and Toledo marching it right down the field. And this drive started way back at the 2 after the kickoff return. Jamal Turner, who has a big catch on this drive. Easy H-back to the right. Mitchell, the receiver, to the top of the field. Bradley, a play fake, has all sorts of time. Look at the room by Mitchell. Makes the catch, makes a move at the 10, makes another move at the 5. High steps his way to the 4. 33 yards to Bryce Mitchell, and the Rockets have it first and goal. We talked about the cushion being given right now by the Husky corners. You see that double move, and then look at the yards after catch. Not 1, not 2, but 3 Huskies. And on first and goal, they give it to Kelly, and he's stood up in the hole and driven back. Big hit there by Daverin Rayner. Well, if you like offensive football, I think you've settled into the right place today. Both teams moving the football at will in this first half. Carter Bradley already near 200 yards throwing, and we still have over 11 and a half minutes to go. Kelly stays in the game as the running back. Blackman goes in motion right to left. Second down and goal. They throw it underneath. A little bit too hot to handle that time. Bradley zipped that one over the head of Blackman's head, incomplete. And now here we go. We saw Northern Illinois score on a third down and goal. Let's see if Toledo can return the favor. Mitchell, Winstead, Blackman, the trio of receivers to the right. Mitchell, who caught 2 touchdowns last week, in motion. Bradley puts some air to it, floats it, some contact in the end zone, and Toledo's going to have it first and goal. They were looking for Mitchell. He was held up near the back of the end zone.
Holding, number 20, defense. Penalty would be enforced half the distance to the goal from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Jermaine March, keep an eye on the left-hand side of the screen, the left hook, as Mitchell was getting ready to make his cut. Bryce Mitchell, the veteran senior, homegrown product right there in Toledo. A couple of touchdown catches last week. And that's who Bradley wanted to go to. Winstead in motion. They fake the jet sweep, hand it off to Kovac. He surges ahead. And let's see, no word yet. He's going to be just short. Boy, from this angle, it looked like he had crossed the line, but they're going to mark him just shy, setting up a second and goal as we take another look. There's the initial hit by Lafayette. And that left knee is down, so a good job by the officiating crew. 2nd and goal. They'll go right back to Kobach. And this time there's no doubt. He is in. Touchdown, Rockets. A 98-yard drive by Toledo. And it's Bryant Kobach on the plunge over the left side. Simple push by that offensive line. The tight end's cracking down. And Kobach is in. His 4th rushing touchdown this year. And the Rockets made that drive look easy. 10 plays, 98 yards. A little more than 4 minutes off the game clock, and it was this throw and catch. The yards after catch by Bryce Mitchell, the veteran for Toledo, shredding NIU defenders. Kobach capped it off, the touchdown run. We're tied at 14. Just his 3rd career start, Carter Bradley has already put up a career-high afternoon, and we're still not even halfway through the 2nd quarter. 181 yards through the air, 11 of 16, the touchdown pass. But clearly, Northern Illinois does not want to get beat deep, so their secondary, their corners, giving these receivers room to work on the underneath routes, and Bradley is just picking them apart right now. 14-14. Trayvon Rudolph near the goal line. He'll cut across the field horizontally. Has a hold. 30. Out past the 35, 40. Finally escorted out of bounds. Pushed out of bounds by Tyson Anderson. But not before the talented freshman returns it 43 yards and sets up NIU in good shape. The thing you're watching for when you have a youngster like Rudolph is the patience, and that's what he has exhibited throughout his freshman campaign. You see him cut his way, set up his return across the field, and a good starting spot for Northern Illinois. Back and forth we go. On the 49, they will give it to Harrison Whaley. He'll cross on to the Toledo side. A gain of 3 by Whaley. Jonathan Jones into the stop. He's the senior, the transfer from Notre Dame. Played 13 games for the Fighting Irish throughout his time in South Bend. Toledo was 7 in the box. Let's see if Bowers takes advantage of it. 2nd down and 7. He will. Quick throw off the hands of Rudolph. Incomplete. Trayvon Rudolph, the month of December, obviously belongs to Rudolph, and he is running like a reindeer. Look at these numbers. Leads all FBS freshmen, 158 all-purpose yards per game. A lot of his damage done in the return game, like we just saw, mainly on punt returns. That was his longest kick return of the season, but Rudolph has certainly been a difference maker, and that's why Thomas Hammock took this walk-on onto a scholarship midway through this season. 3rd down, the throw, and it's batted away, incomplete. Good coverage on the play, and Northern Illinois is going to be forced to punt. Samuel Womack, the captain, able to come up with the pass breakup. He was pretty good at that a year ago. 2nd in the nation was Womack with 15 pass breakups and add 1 more to his total here. Reading the eyes, avoiding the contact, and that's not an easy guy to get around with Dennis Robinson. Northern Illinois is going to roll the dial. Let's wait. They have the offense out there, but a whistle.
Timeout. Toledo. First charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
So Jason Candle using that timeout. He was maybe expecting the punt. Matt Ferentz, but it's the Huskies who keep the offense on the field, and a big fourth down play coming up. Some of the defensive stars on this Toledo side, and it's a revamped defense under the guidance of Vince Karras in his first year as the defensive coordinator. He has brought a lot of energy with him. And you look at the linebacking core of Johnson, Bolden, and Jones. This was an area of concern coming in, but he was really complimentary of the way that they have conducted themselves, and then he knew he had an experienced secondary. This was a Toledo defense that was ranked last year in the MAC, and they have made huge strides on that side of the football under Karras's guidance. They fake the pooch punt. He'll take a shot deep, lots of contact, and the flags fly. Clark was all tangled up with Messiah Travis. And a whole lot happening on that fourth down. You see the fake on the pooch punt by Bowers, and then he just lofted it downfield to Travis, and a lot of contact as Clark was engaged, and Northern Illinois will convert on fourth down. Clark can't believe it. Bowers has been known to occasionally drop a pooch punt. He's punted 3 times this year in a similar situation, and that time he faked the punt. It really didn't fool the secondary for Toledo. Clark had the tight coverage, just too much contact. Thomas Hammock getting a little creative on fourth down. Drive stays alive. Whaley trying to scoot to the outside, gets there. He is catapulted ahead, lands at the 26-yard line, brought down by the sophomore Chris McDonald. Well, welcome to action on a sunny Saturday in DeKalb. Boy, these two offenses showing no signs of slowing down. Like tight coverage, press coverage at the top. Bowers will go to the bottom, floats it up for Ritchie, makes the catch. Did he get a foot in? He did. Touchdown, Northern Illinois. Beautiful throw by Bowers. There is a flag down in the end zone. So let's wait and see what the flag is all about. I believe it was post-catch, but we'll wait and see. Man, if you're Chris McDonald, the cornerback, number 13, you can't really play it much better. He was step for step with Ritchie. What a throw.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3, offense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Take a look at this throw. Bowers with the time. McDonald step for step with Ritchie, and he put it in the bread basket. Right over the top. Ritchie, the sure-handed receiver, and you see the taunting there as he had some words for the Toledo bench and players, and that will be the unsportsmanlike conduct. Now the kick after is good, as sneaking it through was Richardson. Well, ever since that opening drive, Northern Illinois has not been stopped. 4 offensive possessions, 3 long scoring drives, and it's Bowers with a beautiful throw. Safety Bauer a little late getting over the top. McDonald with the tight coverage, but a perfectly thrown ball. Tyrese Ritchie, 4 catches, 92 yards, certainly fired up. And the excessive celebration on the flag assessed on the kickoff. 3 100-yard games already for Tyrese Ritchie through the first 4 weeks of the season. Certainly with those numbers on pace to make it 4. And we talked about the comparisons as far as statistically speaking with Kenny Galladay. He was the latest receiver to come through this program that just put up big numbers. Galladay transferred in from North Dakota, but he was an Illinois guy. Thomas Hammock has found a weapon with Ritchie. Very quietly, Bowers enjoying a solid first half as well. A couple of touchdowns for the Cal transfer. McKinley Lewis cautiously working his way upfield on the return, and the Rockets will start at the 33-yard line. Down 7, 8:52 to go in this second quarter. How about Jarrett Patterson of Buffalo? Boy, they are just steamrolling anyone who gets in their way. 8 rushing touchdowns last week, 409 yards as they put up 70 in the win against Kent State. Here come the Chits. Jim McElwain and company down 20-6. They score 25 unanswered to pull off the win. And then Christian Albright was sensational, a disruptor for Ball State, keeping their MAC West championship hopes alive. From the 34-yard line, this is Kovac looking for a cutback lane. Now follows his lineman upfield past midfield to the 48. Nice run there by Kovac. It's a gain of 26 yards and a first down. Toledo picking up their tempo a little bit. They'll go right back to Kovac. Makes a defender miss and then is chopped down at the 44. Good job by Jordan Hansen. He's been active. The versatile prep standout from John Hershey. Played some time at quarterback, was a running back, rushed for over 1,900 yards, but has found his home at the collegiate level in that backfield. Remember, Hansen has the game's only turnover, the interception back in the first quarter. Second down and 6. Looked like Bradley changed up the play. A little hitch pattern on the comeback, and the pass is incomplete. They're going to say out of bounds. He was looking for Jerwan Newton. Newton's a Florida kid. He grew up in St. Petersburg. Went to Clearwater Central as we take another look. See the right foot just missing the mark out of bounds. But there has been a steady pipeline for Toledo from the state of Florida, and Newton's one of those guys. Third down, NIU brings a blitz off the edge, and the pass is batted away. There's Hansen again. What a first half for Jordan Hansen. And now let's see if Toledo will keep their offense on the field. It's really been like a chess match as far as each team matching what the other does. We saw Northern Illinois on their last scoring drive convert. Similar part of the field, 4th down and 7. They were able to get the pass interference call. Toledo, without hesitation, keeping their offense on the field as well. 4th and 7 for the Rockets. The ball sitting at the Husky 44. 3 receivers to the right. Mitchell goes in motion, and a timeout taken.
Timeout, Toledo. Second charge timeout of the half. This will be extended into a full media timeout.
Jason Candle and this offense will have some time to talk about it. A big 4th. Toledo has struggled this year on 4th downs, 10th in the MAC, just 3 of 9. They converted earlier in the game. Can they do it a second time here? Jason Candle and company with time to think about what they want to do. 4th and 7 from the Northern Illinois 44. Huskies spread out 4 along that defensive line. They bring a blitz as they bring 7. The throw to the side, caught, and then spinning back inwards as Mitchell keeps his balance to the 10. Touchdown, Toledo. 44 yards to Bryce Mitchell, and on 4th down, the Rockets score big. Little out route, losing Miles McGee, and then immediately that reverse pivot back inward. It looked like the Huskies thought he might just be content stepping out of bounds with the first down. Mitchell says, I want more. And back and forth we go. 5 plays, 66 yards. Bryce Mitchell with his 3rd touchdown grab over 2 weeks. And we are tied at 21. Again, it all starts with the protection. Northern Illinois brought the pressure with the offensive line picking it up. That gave these receivers some space. And like we saw in his first catch, after he makes the grab, he is so explosive. And Bryce Mitchell, a second-team All-MAC performer a year ago, got off to somewhat of a slow start this year for his standards, but boy, over the last couple of weeks, he has certainly picked it up. Had 5 catches for 94 yards against Ball State, a couple of touchdowns a week ago, and now 2 grabs, already over 90 yards, and he has a touchdown to put the equalizer on the board for Toledo. Football family for Bryce Mitchell. His father, Ben, played for Toledo in the late 80s, early 90s. Played for a Toledo team that won a MAC title in 1990 under Nick Saban. His mother, his sister, all attended Toledo University. Speaking of slippery, this is Trayvon Rudolph finally tracked down as he ran all the way across the field, brought down on the play by Quentin Mitchell. And the receivers are certainly putting on a show in this first half. Mitchell with the 2 catches and the touchdown. Tyrese Ritchie in search of his 4th 100-yard game. He is on his way. He has the touchdown reception as well. So weapons on both sides, and right now these defenses are certainly reeling. Northern Illinois, a little more than 7.5 minutes to go in this second quarter. They start at the 21. And a timeout called just in the nick of time.
Timeout. Northern Illinois, second charge timeout of the half. This would be a 30-second timeout.
That's a little bit unusual, especially after a change of possession and a kickoff, to have that delay. Thomas Hammock having a pretty spirited conversation with the head linesman there about having to use that timeout. I'm not sure if he thought the clock started a little bit early as far as the play clock goes, but he had to use that timeout to avoid the penalty. Play clock was inside 1 when he was able to get the attention and call the timeout. But boy, he has to be happy with the way his offense has performed in this first half. In fact, both of these offensive units have been on fire. A first half that has witnessed just 1 punt. That was the opening series for Northern Illinois. Since then, they've touched the ball 3 times, and they have 21 points to show for it. And Hammock, in his second year, taking over for Rod Carey, first Husky graduate to come back to his alma mater and guide it. Spent some time with John Harbaugh on the Ravens staff as the running backs coach at Baltimore. Back to work we go. It's Crawford with the catch. Gain of 10. Should be close, if not enough, to move the sticks for a first down. Looks like they'll mark him just shy. Crawford, 3 catches in this first half. Whaley is the running back. He will get the call on second down, and he busts through a little seam out past the 35 up to the 37-yard line. A gain of 8, and another Northern Illinois first down. Toledo will continue to rotate some bodies up front. They haven't been able to get much pressure. Usually it's Jamal Hines, big number 91, who is their main pass rush specialist. He's lined up alongside Nate Givhan on the bottom of the screen. Both defensive ends side by side. Let's see how they play it. 1st and 10, Northern Illinois at the 38. Big hole over the middle opens up, and a good open field tackle as a flag flies in the vicinity of a hole. Well, it looked like there was a lot of pasture for Whaley, and then coming in was a linebacker. Good open space stop, but you saw the preliminary call holding.
Number 69, offense, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
It's Nolan Potter, the sophomore from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Previous, it was 2.
The third penalty this afternoon on Northern Illinois. Offensive line with a couple of freshmen at the guard positions. Braden Patton, the veteran, the fifth-year center. Leader up front, Marcus Cox, coming off his best 2-week stint of his career at left tackle. And then the youngster Potter across the river in Iowa, getting the start at right tackle. After the penalty, 1st and 20. Hit as he throws, making the catch is Ritchie. Good job there by Bowers as he paid the price. Ritchie able to haul it. Chattering continues. That time it was Nate Bauer and Tyrese Ritchie who were barking at one another after the catch. Look at this hit. Bowers able to throw it right over the top of Desjuan Johnson. Good job there by the fifth-year senior Bowers, and the Huskies pick up some of those penalty yards. Second down and 12 at the 35. He'll take a shot near side, overshot his receiver, looking for Ritchie again. Coverage in the play by Chris McDonald. This sets up a 3rd down. Northern Illinois today 2 of 4 on 3rd downs, and this is a big one for this Toledo defense, trying to get their 2nd stop of this half. Robinson, the tall receiver, comes near side. He'll be matched up with Clark. 3 receivers to the right, minimal protection for NIU. Time for Bowers, he'll throw. This one sealed on him, and it's dropped. Saeed Holt had it right between the 2 and the 0, and he could not bring it in. Missed opportunity. There's a flag in the backfield as well.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 44, defense, low hit to the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Cannot go in low on the quarterback. Take a look at number 44 right there, lunging toward the ankles. And what did we say to start this game? The penalties have just killed Toledo this season in a couple of their games, and a big one there keeps the drive alive. New quarterback into the game for Northern Illinois, and this is Dustin Fletcher. At midfield, Fletcher will hand it off on the jet sweep with a blocker downfield, spinning to the 35. Another flag flies, taking it all the way to the 27-yard line, but a flag down. See if one of the receivers downfield got caught holding a jersey, or maybe Whaley got hit up around the face mask area.
Number 32, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains 1st down. So
wipe out the big run, the 22-yard run by Whaley on the jet sweep. It's coming back. So Fletcher, the true freshman quarterback, in for the first time. He's a running threat. And there is the hold right there. Coming in from the tight end, that's actually the fullback, Brett Bostad. Trying to help out Whaley a good 10 yards downfield. That's why the penalty will only be a negative yard for Northern Illinois, but it wipes out the big run. Fletcher stays in the game, the freshman from Flint, Michigan, really the leader of this freshman class. They go empty set, 1st and 11. He will keep it. And Fletcher moving the legs, keeps the legs churning all the way to the 38-yard line. How about the strength by Dustin Fletcher? He's a big kid, 6'3", 220-pounder, the 4-year starter for Carman Ainsworth. With some tough yards after contact. You see him take a couple of licks there and just keep those legs moving. And finally, Desjuan Johnson, the 255-pound nose guard, able to drive him down. Thomas Hammack and Eric Eidness told us this week they wanted to get Fletcher more involved with some specific sets, and he brings a different element to this Husky offense from what Ross Bowers can do, mainly with the feet. 1st down give, nets a -2. Good job by the Toledo defense. Saeed Holt filling in from the safety position. See Bowers on the sideline. He'll be ready to check back in. Bowers 10 of 16 in this first half with the 2 touchdown passes, but a little bit of a different twist for this Toledo defense to try to figure out. Defensive coordinator Vince Karras with Fletcher in there. 2nd and 12 after the loss. They put Whaley in motion. Fletcher will keep it. Up the middle he goes again. Tripped up at the 31-yard line by Daniel Bolden. Sets up a manageable 3rd down. Start to keep an eye on that clock a little bit if you're Northern Illinois as well. That was what was so big about that roughing the passer penalty. It kept the Toledo offense off the field. This drive continues, and the Huskies using some of that clock in what has turned out to be an offensive shootout today in DeKalb. Northern Illinois 2 of 4 on 3rd downs today. They go heavy, 2 tight ends. Bostad, the H-back to the right. Fletcher trying to follow his lead. He lost the football. He was popped by Bolden. Toledo thinks they have it. Let's see. Toledo football. The Rockets get it on the takeaway. Jason Candle and the Toledo defense able to create their first turnover of the afternoon.
First down Toledo. Timeout on the field.
Big stop by the Rocket D. The freshman Fletcher jolted. His hard-hitting defense, the linebacker combination of Bolden and Johnson, knocking the freshman around. Toledo with the takeaway. Rockets a chance to re-grab the lead when we come back. The 8th takeaway of the season by this Toledo defense, and the Rockets with the football. Inside 3 minutes to go, first half, tied at 21. Carter Bradley lining up his troops. Micah Kelly will flank him to the left. He joins him in the backfield. They fake it to Kelly. The slant route. McKinley Lewis makes the catch up near midfield. A gain of 17 and a first down. In case you're just joining us, Carter Bradley getting the start for Toledo, the sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida. In there for the injured Eli Peters. Peters was knocked out of last week's game late against Ball State, so it's been Bradley, and he has played well in this first half. In control of this offense. Time wants the home run. McKinley Lewis is out there, and he'll make the catch at the 5. We've seen Northern Illinois give a lot of cushion today for this exact reason, the fear of the deep ball and these vertical threats. Thomas got turned around, and a perfectly thrown ball to McKinley Lewis. 44 yards, 1st and goal for the Rockets. And the way this first half is went, if you're Toledo, you don't want to score too quick here. Fade back of the end zone, a lot of contact. He was looking for Winstead, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by Gandy, setting up a 2nd and goal. What a first half for Danzel McKinley Lewis, the graduate student pursuing his MBA. Seton LaSalle High School, that should sound familiar, the same high school as the great Toledo quarterback Bruce Gradkowski. 2nd down and goal from the 7. Play fake. Bradley looks, zips it underneath, and it's through the hands of Winstead. Ball was deflected. That's one that Winstead normally holds in. Winstead knows he would love to have this one back. You see that right hand get up, another deflected ball, but even with that deflection, that is one that Winstead normally catches 9 out of 10 times. Missed opportunity for the Rockets, and a 3rd and goal.
Timeout, Northern Illinois. That's their 3rd and final charge timeout of the half.
Defensive coordinator Derek Jackson utilizing his third and final timeout for what should be a pivotal play late in this first half. Third down and goal for Toledo, a game that has already featured over 500 yards of total offense, and a good chunk of those yards for Toledo coming through the air. Jason Candle and the job he has done with this program, one of the mainstays in the MAC, his 5th year as the head coach. Spent some time as an assistant with Matt Campbell. Campbell taking the job in Ames at Iowa State. What a job he's done with the Cyclones. They're into the top 10 for the first time this year with the release of the college football playoff poll. Candle known for his offense, and they have put up some numbers today. Third down and goal. That's Mitchell in motion at the top. Bradley surveys, and it's behind the tight end, incomplete. And the Rockets are going to have to settle for 3. He was looking for Turner. Tight end coming across the field on the drag route. Bradley a bit behind him. Tyler Bradley looked like he wanted to go for it, stay on the field, but after some deliberation, they will send out Plucky. And the Rockets will try to get the chip shot and regain the lead late in this first half. "25-yard field goal. The placement down. Kick is on the way by Clucky, and it's good. So both teams have taken advantage, getting points off turnovers. Northern Illinois able to get 7 back in the first quarter following the Jordan Hansen interception. Jason Candle's Rockets settle for 3. Thomas Clucky with the short field goal. And Thomas Hammock and the Husky offense to get one more crack with 1:45 to go. And the way that yards have just been picked up in chunks in this first half, that's an eternity of time for NIU. First half that has featured a couple of lead changes. Talked about over 500 yards of total offense. 2 offensive lines who are fairly inexperienced. Toledo because of injury. Northern Illinois just because they're a freshman-loaded unit. But both offensive lines have played well today. Not one single sack. The end result, a lot of points and a lot of yards. And this is exactly what Toledo did not want to see as the kick goes sailing out of bounds off the right foot of Clucky. So good starting position for Northern Illinois.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Now you go back through the past decade, since 2010. It typically is Northern Illinois and Toledo in the MAC. These two have been the dominant forces. 91 wins for NIU. Toledo right behind them with 87. In fact, these two programs have been so dominant. This is the first Saturday afternoon game in which they've met since 2009. Usually as you go deeper into a normal year in the MAC, a lot of those games shift toward the midweek. Usually these two teams play late in the year. That just gives you an idea of how powerful these two squads have been. Wide open is Crawford. He has found some holes in this secondary. He'll take it to the 47-yard line, a gain of 18 yards and a first down. So that's a big gain with a limited clock and no timeouts for Northern Illinois. They're lined up, ready to go. Bowers and company down 3. Long throw across the field, and it's a BB right to his man. Ritchie toe drags right at the sticks, a gain of 11. And just like that, they've picked up 29 yards with 2 throws. It's a long, difficult throw, but like we've seen in this first half, Bowers has been razor sharp. Last year threw for 2,100 yards. Had to outduel Marcus Childers for the starting gig. Ross Bowers knew this was his job coming into this season, and he has been a leader and a consistent one for Northern Illinois this season. wanted to go right, now checks down, looked for his bailout. That was Crawford. At that time, good coverage by Deontay Johnson. There's a late flag thrown as well in the secondary.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 45, defense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot by rule, automatic first down.
So that must have happened when they were looking for Crawford. Deontay Johnson getting tied up with the big-bodied senior tight end. 7th penalty of the day on Toledo. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you see number 45 in white. Had a lot of contact, but enough apparently, and that gives Northern Illinois a first down. Minute 26 to go, no timeouts for the Huskies. They will hand it to Whaley. And Whaley is met by Deontay Johnson, snowed under at the 23. Whaley's had a good first half, coming off a career-high game last week in which he rushed for 68 yards already today. He has carried the ball 13 times, 84 yards. He has the touchdown run as well. So another follow-up big performance by Whaley. And Toledo's going to use their 3rd and final timeout.
Timeout, Toledo. 3rd and final charge, timeout of the half. Be a 30-second timeout. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 59 seconds.
Look at the job that Jason Candle has done in his time at Toledo. Took the Rockets to a MAC championship in 2017. Won MAC Coach of the Year honors that season. His Rockets going 11-3. Beat Akron in the MAC title 45-28. That was their first title since 2004. They won the West, their first outright MAC West title since '98 in that year. It was a pretty easy decision when Matt Campbell made the decision to go to Iowa State. Athletic director Mike O'Brien chose him back on December 2nd. He had 3 weeks to prepare his Rockets for the Boca Raton Bowl, and I still remember that game in the rain. They were able to blast a pretty good Temple team, 32-17. So after the timeout, Bowers goes back to work, receiver open, and Ritchie dropped it. You don't see that too often. Tyrese Ritchie had it go right through his fingertips. His first drop of the day. Little double move, and Womack bit. And Bowers put it right there. Boy, Ross Bowers. He is throwing dimes today. Bowers now 12 of 19 for 182 yards. 3rd down. They need to get it to the 16. 2 right, 2 left. Bowers moving the pocket right, throws underneath, it's caught. Whaley with the grab, and then a collision at the 10. Both players a little slow to get up. Harrison Whaley pops up. Toledo defender A.J. Kreider still a little wobbly, and they're going to push him off toward the side. Kreider was jarred on that collision with Whaley. You saw Whaley get up a little staggered, and then Kreider never really made it fully up to his feet and operational, and Deontay Johnson spotted that and was able to get the clock stoppage. So you take a look at the tail end of this play. Whaley lowering the pads. Womack and Kreider, and it was Kreider who was down on the turf for a while as Northern Illinois was trying to go up tempo, obviously with the clock and the situation. Big 3rd down conversion for the Huskies. Whaley continues to make an impact on this offense. They can still pick up a first down just outside the 10. Bowers on the slant, incomplete. He was looking for Ritchie. As expected, Ritchie with 10 targets in this first half. 2nd down, and 10. Again, they can pick up a first down. 31 seconds to go. Northern cannot stop the clock. Keep an eye on Robinson, number 17. They love his big body in these red zone chances. Bowers looking right. Ritchie draws a double team. Dangerous throw, and it's nearly intercepted. They tried to go over the middle to the tight end Crawford. Tyson Anderson, the safety, was in the neighborhood, and he has been a playmaker his entire career. Local product out of Toledo St. John's, and he nearly had the interception. 3rd down and 10 for Northern Illinois. Play clock down to 7. Toledo brings a linebacker blitz. It's picked up. The quick throw, juggled and dropped, nearly intercepted by McDonald. Bowers living dangerously with this red zone offense. Chris McDonald had a couple of chances, but he just could not haul it in. I like the call by Vince Karras to bring the blitz. Bowers with the right read, but the throw behind him. And McDonald unable to come away with the pick. This will set up John Richardson, and his line drive kick is up and through. And here we are, nearly 30 minutes into this game. Some 630 yards of total offense, 48 points up on the board. We might start fresh come quarter number 3. We were laughing during the commercial break. Remember the old WAC days, the Western Athletic Conference? The old WAC is going to become the new MAC here in 2020. We've seen some huge offensive production over the first 4 weeks of this season, and Bowers and Northern Illinois fortunate to get 3, as McDonald, talented young sophomore from Miami, nearly had his hands on a possible game changer late in the first half. Chris McDonald, one of those guys, he started 11 games last year at cornerback following the injury to Justin Clark. Talked about his awareness. Jason Candle and defensive coordinator Vince Karras, they knew he had the physical skills, the ability to play a lot of man. That's what Toledo wants to do, and his ability to read specific sets, reads, his awareness, just has continued his growth. Still very young in this Toledo program. McKinley Lewis on the return, and he will take it out to the 25-yard line. Again, Toledo without any timeouts. See if they'll be content to just take a knee, and both these defenses will look to make some adjustments and regroup in the second half. A wild half of football from DeKalb, tied at 24. Bradley will hand it off to Kelly, and that's how the first half should end. A lot of developing storylines on this beautiful Saturday in the Midwest, just outside Chicago. Carter Bradley making his first start of the season, just his 3rd career start for Toledo. He goes for 285 through the air and a couple of touchdown passes. Tyrese Ritchie, already with 3 100-yard games this season, make it 4. He has over 100 catching. Whaley with a touchdown run. 600-plus yards offense from DeKalb. We're tied at 24. We'll be back with more after these words. A wild one in DeKalb. Halftime at Husky Stadium. Carter Bradley, a couple of touchdown passes. Ross Bowers, 2 touchdown passes for NIU. We're tied at 24 here at the break. It has been a wild start to the MAC season. COVID-19 impacting 2 MAC contests today. The race for the MAC championship. We'll break down the implications when we come back to DeKalb. Tied at 24, Toledo and Northern Illinois. Welcome back to DeKalb, an unusually mild Saturday afternoon and a good one here. 2 MAC West rivals, Northern Illinois and Toledo at the break. It has been a wide open MAC race so far in this condensed schedule, a 6-game race to a MAC championship, and obviously major implications both on the eastern half and the western half of this conference. Out east, Buffalo with their game canceled today, really in the driver's seat. They have Akron next week, a Buffalo win, and they are your East champions. A little bit more complicated, though, in the West. Western Michigan controls their own destiny right now. The Broncos have found a way to rally in 2 games to remain perfect. A big one in Mount Pleasant today with Central Michigan and Ball State. Remember, Western travels to Muncie next Saturday for the MAC finale. Possibly a MAC West championship on the line. It is that time of the year, and you start looking at the playoff scenarios. And for Buffalo, boy, they have been rock solid. They put up 70 points last week in their win against Kent State. Unfortunately, they were about 2.5 hours away from Athens when Ohio was forced to cancel, so that just leaves them Akron. When you look at Western Michigan, both Toledo and Northern Illinois, very familiar with what the Broncos can do. They have found a way to rally and win the close games. They claim the West title with a win today and a Ball State loss. And speaking of Ball State, we talked about the big one in Mount Pleasant. Ball State must win out, plus they have to get a little help along the way. A Western Michigan loss today, and Ball State still with an outside chance. Central Michigan, a little bit tougher chore. They have to win out. Western Michigan has to lose out, and Jim McElwain and company a chance to repeat as your West champs. We'll be back with more from DeKalb. A beautiful Saturday afternoon of action, Toledo and Northern Illinois. Entertaining first half of football. Northern Illinois looking for their first win on the season. Toledo trying to go back above 500. Still keep their title hopes alive. An outside slim chance, but yet keeping those hopes alive. And plenty of offense after one half here in DeKalb. Tied at 24. Take a look at some of the first half highlights, and it was Toledo who struck first, and Carter Bradley in there for the injured Eli Peters, making his first start of the year, and he has been sharp. The touchdown to McKinley Lewis, but then back comes Northern Illinois. Harrison Whaley, the 28-yard touchdown. Whaley certainly had an impactful first half coming off a career high a week ago. Ross Bowers, the California transfer, 2 touchdown passes. The tight end, Daniel Crawford, has been a big part of this Northern Illinois passing attack. And then the yards after the catch by Bryce Mitchell, making NIU defenders miss. That sets up the short touchdown by Kobach with a relatively quiet first half. But they didn't need that rushing attack the way that Bradley was throwing the football. The highly touted freshman Trayvon Rudolph, he certainly made an impact like he has all season. This time in the kick return game, it was Rudolph's return that set up Northern Illinois, and after the fake pooch punt, they were able to convert on this 4th down, the pass interference call. That set up a touchdown for the Huskies, but then it was Mitchell toward the tail end of the first half, able to get free. 2 catches for Mitchell for 76 yards, and just look at the massive offensive amounts by both teams. 357 for Toledo, 295 for Northern Illinois. Both quarterbacks have been sharp. Bowers with the 2 touchdown passes. How about Carter Bradley in there for the injured Eli Peters? Bradley making his first start this season. He started 2 games last year for the Rockets, and he has been in control of this offense. Each team has turned it over once. Penalties continue to plague Toledo. They had a couple of 4th down penalties which kept drives alive in the first half. 24-24 in this MAC West showdown, a sunny Saturday from the Midwest. Back with more from Husky Stadium after these words. Tied at 24 at halftime as we welcome you back to Husky Stadium. Northern Illinois and Toledo. NIU trying to knock off the Rockets for the 3rd straight time. Toledo leads the all-time series 31-16 today, marking the 48th all-time meeting between these two proud programs. Speaking of pride, Tyrese Ritchie, he has been the pride of DeKalb this season. His 4th 100-yard receiving effort this year. 4th time in 5 games for Ritchie. You saw the Buffalo game to start the season, and then back-to-back weeks with Ball State and Western Michigan, and now today, 6 catches. He's over the century mark, 3rd straight game with a touchdown catch. A little bit of a different approach when you look at the balanced air attack on the opposite side from Toledo. Isaiah Winstead was targeted early in this game, but then it was Bryce Mitchell and Danzel McKinley-Lewis. Look at the yards per catch for the veterans, McKinley-Lewis and Mitchell. Winstead, the possession receiver. Expect him to become more involved in this 3rd quarter. Toledo will be getting the football first. These 2 quarterbacks have really played well. Bradley had the interception in the red zone, but that was a deflected ball. Other than that, he has been on target. The 285 yards, a career high. Ross Bowers, very efficient. The 2 touchdown passes. He has thrown a couple of beauties in the first half. Remember, he was lifted late in the first half for the talented freshman Dustin Fletcher. Pretty certain that was not an injury issue with Bowers. They wanted to give Fletcher some reps, utilize his running game and that dimension that he brings to the Husky offense. So both quarterbacks certainly can feel pretty happy with the way they played in that first half. As we talked about, Toledo will get the football first. Remember, they won the toss, elected to defer, and the million-dollar question for these 2 defensive coordinators certainly will be what adjustments they make in this second half. Will it continue to be a back and forth, up and down the field, offensive-dominated football game? We're about to find out on a mild Saturday here in the Midwest. Richardson with the approach, end over end. McKinley-Lewis just in front of the goal line, and he is tripped up shy of the 20. Good special teams coverage by Northern Illinois, and shooting downfield for the Huskies was Jaden Lambert, the backup cornerback, a freshman for NIU. So here comes Toledo, an offense that put up monster numbers in the first half. In particular, Carter Bradley showed the touch on the deep ball on a couple of occasions, really accurate with that short passing game, taking advantage of the cushion that the NIU secondary has given and the respect they have showed these Toledo receivers. Turner starts as the H-back left. Bradley moves that direction. Speaking of cushion, there you go. McKinley-Lewis with the catch, 12 yards on first down. McKinley-Lewis over 100 yards in this game with that catch. He was the home run hitter a year ago, led the team with Desmond Phillips. With Phillips and McKinley-Lewis each with 36 receptions a year ago. So he's one of the main veterans of this receiving corps for Toledo, their most experienced skill set grouping on this year's roster. McKinley-Lewis, number 4 in the slot. You see Kobach. He's had a quiet first half. He's the running back out as a receiver here at the top of the field. In motion is Devin Maddox. And Bradley's going to get Maddox his first touch. Has some work to do, looking for the stiff arm, but he is escorted out of bounds. And now here comes a late flag. Maddox was hit late out of bounds, coming through for Northern Illinois with that late hit. I believe was the freshman Rayner. Daverin Rayner, number 9. We'll take another look at it.
Personal foul. Late hit, out of bounds. Number 9, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
You see a good job of the Husky defense. Maddox clearly had given up. He was out of bounds, and that is a freshman mistake. I'm not even sure if that's a freshman mistake. That's just not a smart play by Rayner, as clearly Maddox was a good step or two out of bounds, and this will cost the Husky D 15 yards. So Toledo picking up where they left off in that first half. Fresh set of downs at the 49. Again, look at the cushion at the top of the field that they are giving McKinley Lewis. Bradley a play fake. He looked like he wanted to take a shot down the seam. Instead, he'll go into the protective slide at the 47-yard line. Boy, McKinley Lewis, he went on that post route, and that's where Bradley wanted to go with it. But that's kind of playing right into what NIU is trying to defend. You had over-the-top help by Jordan Hansen, so McKinley Lewis had nowhere to go, and as a result, Bradley just picks up positive yards. 2nd down and 6. They've crossed the NIU side. Again, time to throw, and he tried to squeeze it into the pocket, and it's intercepted. Into that zone coverage, Northern Illinois able to get the pick with Devin Lafayette. So there's the first adjustment by Derek Jackson here in the second half. And Bradley tried to thread the needle. That's a tight window, and Lafayette from that safety position. One of 7 freshman starters on the defensive side of the football comes away with his first career interception. An NIU defense that has certainly given up massive yards, but they've been able to come away with 2 takeaways now, picking off Bradley twice. And here is Bowers back in there, flush from the pocket, and he's forced to throw it away. Ross Bowers with a solid first half, and he was talking with us about the excitement he had coming into this year, really for the first time in his career. And you go back to his Cal days on the West Coast. First time in his career he was with the same offensive coordinator in back-to-back seasons. Last year when he arrived at Northern Illinois, Eric Eidnes was his 4th OC in as many years. And certainly the language, he stacked the previous knowledge with the familiarity, the confidence compared to his first year, and he just thought he was leaps and bounds ahead of where he was with this program 12 months ago. Eidnes, the offensive coordinator, talking about the decision-making that he has made, especially with some of these younger players on the offensive side of the football, and they have relied on him heavily. Good run by Whaley of 12 yards and a first down for Northern Illinois. Early turnover to start this second half, and it looked like Toledo was marching. It's the Husky offense with their first crack at it. Whaley continues the big game, and an open field tackle made, but not before he gets 12 more. Zachary Ford, the sophomore from Cleveland, the free safety, bringing him down, and Whaley for the first time in his young career is over 100 yards. 68 yards a week ago, now at 110 yards rushing today, 15 carries. For the Urbandale Jayhawk out of the Des Moines metro area, Johnston, Iowa. 1st and 10 from the 43. Deep drop. Bowers with time tried to dump it off, and it's incomplete. And we talked about it briefly in the first half. How about the job by these 2 offensive lines, and with Northern Illinois and the 2 freshmen at the guard positions, John Champ and Logan Schernitz. Braden Patton making his 17th consecutive start at center. And then Marcus Cox at left tackle and Nolan Potter. This offensive line despite not a lot of experience, has done a good job containing this Toledo pass rush. Second down and 10, and just as I say that, down goes Bowers. They brought the safety off the edge with Ford, and he was able to get in, and Bowers is dumped for the first time today. Keep an eye on number 7, and if you're Harrison Whaley, you've had a great day running the football, but you need a better effort with the pass protection right there, as Ford ran right over the top of him. Zach Ford with his first sack of the season, first sack of the day for either team, and now an opportunity for Toledo. Here comes another delayed blitz. Bowers will take a shot. One-on-one ball. Robinson unable to make the play. Good coverage by Justin Clark. And Northern Illinois will have to punt for just the second time this afternoon. It's a good job by Clark out on an island with a pretty big body, and Robinson 6'5", 220. Clark was able to hold his ground. They were excited to have the preseason All-MAC selection back healthy here in 2020. On pace to be a 6-year player for the Rockets. Utilized his injury redshirt last year after starting all 12 games in 2018. Oh, what a kick here by Ferentz. Driving kick that Blackman has trouble handling, and it goes out of bounds at the 13-yard line. The big leg of Matt Ferentz. Nobody has punted for more yards wearing the NIU black and red than Ferentz. Toledo starts deep in their own end when we come back. With the top teams in the MAC East canceled as far as COVID-19, Buffalo and Kent State, we shift our attention to the MAC West. Western Michigan out to a 7-0 lead. They are in the driver's seat in the West. Ball State, Central Michigan, both within striking distance. A big game in Mount Pleasant. An early field goal, Ball State with a 3-0 lead. Remember, Western Michigan will make the trip to Muncie next Saturday to take on that Ball State team. First down, and there is nowhere to go. Swallowed up in the backfield. Penetration that time coming from the big guy inside. That's Pierce Opong. Opong, a true freshman out of Bloomington, Minnesota. He was one of those guys that they were anticipating on being an interior defender, but because of some injuries and some lack of experience, they shifted him wide, and he has excelled at that defensive end position, and Northern Illinois knows a thing or two about disruptors on the edge over the past few seasons. Bradley on the out route, first down at the sticks. Caught. Winstead, he'll take it up ahead with that big frame, stretching the football to the 29. It's a gain of 15 yards and a first down. Sutton Smith, the All-American for NIU, had 14 sacks a couple of seasons ago. He was the All-American. Matt Lorbeck, Ben Leroy, Jack Heflin, some of those defenders gone. Thus all these youngsters jumping in. Winstead unable to make the catch along the Toledo sideline. Gandy had the coverage, 2nd and 10.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass, 2nd down.
It's a big drive if you're Toledo and you want to see how Carter Bradley bounces back. You know, that first interception, that's a deflected ball, but that last one was a bad decision on his part, really. His first bad throw of the afternoon, so we'll see if he can bounce back. 2nd down and 10, the ball at the 30. Two receivers to the top. In motion is the Colorado transfer, Blackman. Bradley wanted to go over the middle, now pushes left, settles underneath, it's caught, that's Winstead. The possession receiver for Toledo, and a first down up to the 45, a gain of 15 more. Again, this offensive line for Toledo doing a terrific job, and Winstead just camping out. That last option for Bradley, and there he was. Couple of early catches in this third quarter for Winston. Now 7 grabs, 94 yards for the Norfolk State transfer. First and 10 from the 46. Koback running to the boundary side. And he is able to be drugged down. You saw that jersey stretching. Koback falling forward, keeping the legs moving, picks up 8. It's been a fairly quiet game for Bryant Koback. Last carry, his 11th rush of the football game, 51 yards on the ground. We thought he would be an impact in the passing game today. You see him as a receiver, now he'll come into that backfield. But with the cushion and the game plan by NIU, they really haven't had to check down to Koback. These receivers have been given room to work, and Bradley has taken advantage of it. Back-to-back carries by Koback and another Toledo first down. Going back to this offensive line, remember you have Vitaly Gurman at left tackle. He's an Edinboro transfer. It's his first year in the program. Luke Durger is a senior. He's played both guard spots this year. Bryce Harris is the anchor, over 36 career starts at center. On that right side with Tyler Long and Nick Rossi. Rossi at tackle, more of an inside guard position type player, but he's been forced to start at right tackle because of injuries. Well, they lost their 2 starting tackles this year with Mitchell Berg and Lavelle Dumont. So Koback just get blown up by Rayner that time, the freshman out of Indianapolis. Able to figure out the offensive line on that particular play. 2nd and 11. Bradley, a couple of deep shots downfield. He instead settles underneath, and making the catch is Kelly, but a good open field tackle made. Devin Lafayette, very aggressive safety, able to bring down an elusive ball carrier in space, and Micah Kelly. And if you're Toledo, you got to believe this is 4-down territory. Now, we have seen both defenses start to get some traction in this third quarter. But at the 40-yard line in what has been a high-scoring game, if you're Bradley, you're thinking, I got 2 cracks at 7 yards. 3rd down and 7. Blackman in motion. Looks like a man set defensively. Drag route caught, and McKinley Lewis is dropped immediately. Pops back up onto his feet, but the line judge will mark him down shy of the 1st down, and Jason Candle and the Rockets looking at 4th down. Again, that's Jordan Gandy with the stop. Gandy coming over from South Dakota State, the local product, grew up right here in DeKalb. One of 4 DeKalb high school graduates, part of this Northern Illinois program. So here we go, 4th down and 5. Toledo bunches it up. 2 right, 2 left. Kelly the backfield. Stays in for protection. Out pattern is caught, and a 1st down as the Rockets keep the drive alive. Perfectly thrown ball to the tight end, Jamal Turner. His 2nd catch of the day, and a big 4th down conversion for the visitors from Toledo. Good job by Kelly to pick up the blitz and the protection, and then just that big tight end body able to beat Rayner, the outside linebacker, and Toledo keeps the drive alive. 1st down and 10. Over the middle, Bradley had a receiver open and he undershot him. He was looking for Turner again. That's one Carter Bradley would probably like to have back. So Jamal Turner, coming into this game, had only 3 catches through the first 4 games, and Carter just could not step fully into that throw because of the pressure he felt from James Esther. Northern Illinois has not sacked Bradley once today. 2nd down and 10. They'll hand it off. Koback, quick move in. Check that. That's Kelly, the ball carrier. And he dashes his way inside the red zone, picking up enough for the 1st down as they move the chains. And Toledo threatening to retake the lead midway through this 3rd quarter. Micah Kelly had his breakout game against Western Michigan. Shaquille Seymour, who we haven't seen today, was banged up, so they went to Kelly. He had a career-high 69 yards in that wild game against the Broncos. Only played a couple of games last year, but he's been critical on this drive. Rossi, the H-back, in motion. Little counter action to Kelly, trying to slither his way ahead. Not much luck. Brought down by Ratine. But there is a flag down. Flag down in the NIU secondary. Seven penalties today for Toledo, 6 for Northern Illinois.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 80, offense, 15-yard penalty, the down counts, it will be second down.
Well, that's a killer if you're Toledo, and it comes from one of your veterans, Bryce Mitchell, with the unsportsmanlike conduct, obviously getting tangled up with one of the NIU secondary players well after the play downfield. Let's not forget the kicking game has been somewhat shaky this year for Toledo as well. So all of these yards precious when you start getting inside that red zone. Big one there, 15 yards the wrong way if you're a Rocket. Northern drops 8 into coverage. They'll take advantage of the empty box with Kelly on the draw, and he staggers his way to the 24. So bring up a third down and long for Toledo. So on that last play, Northern Illinois rush only 3. We've seen Derek Jackson dial up a couple of blitzes with his linebackers. Looks like they're going to go conservative, though, defensively. Again, a 3-man front. Third down and 16 for Toledo. Carter Bradley with all sorts of time settles underneath. NIU says thank you on that. Lafayette shadowing Kelly. And this will set up a field goal possibly for the Rockets. Decision for Jason Candle again. Evan Davis was the kicker to start the year. He struggled. They went to Thomas Cluckey. And Cluckey has connected on all 3 of his field goal attempts this season with a long of 37. Take a look at Lafayette. And Toledo is going to keep the offense on the field. So they don't want to try the 38-yarder. They'll go with Bradley in this offense. Big play in this game. 4th and 16, and with the play clock winding down, Toledo will use a timeout. First timeout of the half by the Rockets. Jason Campbell showing some confidence in his young sophomore quarterback. 4th and 16 when we come back. Toledo with a 4th and 12. During the timeout, they readjusted the spot for Micah Kelly on that last catch, so it's now at the 20. 4th and 12 for the Rockets. Well within the range of Cluckey, but Candle keeps the offense out. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Kelly the lone back. On 4th down, they'll take a shot toward the side, knocked away, and Northern Illinois comes away with the stop. Dylan Thomas on the out route, able to get his hand in there, and the big pass breakup on an afternoon in which the secondary has just given up these short routes. This time, the Husky defense comes away with the play. Toledo looking for 6 instead of 3. They come up with nothing. Huskies back when we return. Good-looking group here in DeKalb as you see faces both young and old enjoying this one. Part of the creativity with the Husky athletic department here. We'd love to see fans. I was talking with Donna Turner, the longtime SID here at Northern Illinois, and we can't recall a Saturday afternoon in December like this one where it is sunny, it's actually nice in the Midwest, and what a crowd we would have had we not been experiencing these COVID days, but it is what it is, and these two teams have battled. We've seen the defenses really rise to the occasion in this third quarter. Northern Illinois has an interception and most recently a big fourth down stop, and Husky offense just their second series in this quarter, tied at 24. Back-to-back carries, and Whaley can't get much. Toledo shuts the door, and that is Jonathan Jones. Well, they really raved about Jones, and coming over from Notre Dame, his connection was defensive line coach Larry Black. Black spent 2018 as a grad assistant in South Bend, so he knew about Jones, and Jonathan was one of the guys, as Notre Dame was preparing for Iowa State last year in the bowl season, that he knew he wanted to transfer, and Larry Black had the connection, pipeline to Toledo, and Jones has provided some depth at that inside linebacker position. This would be a big play for Toledo if they can force a 3-and-out. 3rd down and 8. Bowers a deep drop under some pressure, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and the Rockets will force a punt. Jamal Hines and Desjuan Johnson, they have been the two mainstays up front. Hines, when it comes to disrupting the passer, he's been the main guy, and that time he was able to get through. That will not go down as a sack, but it's just as important. Saw Bowers and Hammock in a lively conversation. Looked like Hammock might have spotted something that disagreed with Bowers' approach on that last play, and those two hammered it out along the NIU sideline. So you talk about a game taking a major turn in this third quarter. I mean, these defenses could not stop the offense in the first half, and now it's been nothing but D in this third quarter. Jason Candle has watched his Toledo D force NIU to a couple of punts, while Thomas Hammock and his young Husky defense with a takeaway and a 4th down stop. So Toledo taking over at the 45. Good starting position. Kobach is checked back in the game. He flanks Bradley to the right. Little hitch pattern caught. Short gain onto the NIU side. A gain of 7 to Jyron Mitchell. First catch of the day by Mitchell. Second down and 3 for the Rockets. Again, that's Kobach in the backfield for Bradley. They'll hand it off right side. Kobach looking for the alley to cut back on. He's lassoed around the waist. Rayshawn Thomas, the freshman from Washington Park High School up in Wisconsin. And they're going to mark him about a yard shy, so this will set up a 3rd down and 1. Keep an eye on 89, Rossi. He's the H-back. Let's see if they leave him in there for a lead block. Nope, they're going to go with a quick punch, and Kobach just powers his way up ahead to the 40 and a 1st down. Bryant Kobach, entering today, needed 102 yards to enter into the top 10 rushing ranks at Toledo. Currently number 12 on that list. And they've had some good ones come through the program throughout the years. Kobach today with the 62 yards in the ground. Bradley doing the damage through the air, a career high 359. But it was the defense in the third quarter on both sides that's all of a sudden dictating this game. A 4th down stop by the Husky D. We're still tied at 24. Flamboyant offensive numbers in the first half, a completely different story here in the second half as we welcome you back to DeKalb and Husky Stadium, tied at 24, Northern Illinois and Toledo. Jason Candle watched his offense give up the football twice on the Northern Illinois side in that third quarter. Thomas Hammock and his offense really sputtered in that third quarter. So here we go, tied at 24, and it will be Kobach running into a wall at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. Devontae O'Malley, a true freshman, awarded a scholarship earlier this season, and on the stop. Weston Kramer, one of the few veterans on that defensive line, the 3-year starter. He's coming off his best game of the season last week. You'll see a lot of number 55 over the final 15 minutes. Second down and 9. Bradley's going to take a shot toward the sideline. A diving attempt, and it's caught. Jerwan Newton with a second catch on this drive, able to beat C.J. Brown. Terrific catch by Newton, and a first down for the Rockets. The sound pattern has been there, and you see the concentration. Does he have control? And did he get that left foot in? Yes, he did. No challenge from NIU. And the Rockets pick up a first down. At the 28, Bradley a play fake. Wanted to take a shot at Rossi. Now he's going to improvise. Blows a tire as he falls inside the 25. Boy, Bradley was eyeing Drew Rossi on the post. He thought better of it, and then he covered it and picked up positive yards. Five-yard run by Bradley, who's been effective when he's tucked it. 4 carries. He's picked up 30 yards on the ground. Toledo with 120 rushing today. In motion is Blackman. Getting rid of it quickly is Bradley. And making the catch and shedding some tacklers. Gandy able to finally bring down Newton, who's become a factor all of a sudden. Talk about that connection to Florida. Jerwan Newton grew up in St. Pete's, Clearwater Central, and he chose Toledo because he knew some Rocket players from Florida, including Jalen Williams at St. Pete, former Wharton player Laval Dumont. So familiarity is certainly a big reason, and he's found a home in his freshman year. 3 catches on this drive for Newton. Not a misdirection. They go to Kobach, and he drives inside the 10 down to the 9. Eddie Jackson, the freshman linebacker, speaking of Florida, he's from Miami and on that stop. So now you have some options if you're Toledo. Newton is the hot hand. He will line up in the middle of the 3-receiver set. Mitchell's the go-to guy, number 80, and then you have the speedster, the scat back, Blackman. They will put him in motion. Keep an eye on number 80 to the top. Bradley looking, flush from the pocket. Little shovel throw to Rossi as he dumped it off. Minimal gain. They get 3 yards. This will set up a third down. Nothing open downfield. Like he wanted to go to Newton. He was well covered, so Rossi with his 3rd catch of the day. 3rd down and 3. They can still pick up the first down. They use a lot of Blackman in motion. See if they get him on a sprint out. Nope, they go with the slant, tipped away, and it's incomplete. Huskies able to get a hand on it. I believe it was Rayner. And now they will send out Clucky to try to get the lead. So take another look. Yes, it was number 9, Rayner, in the nick of time, getting his right hand outstretched. So on their last drive, they kept Clucky on the sideline, electing to go for it on 4th and 12 on what would have been a 37-yard field goal. They push him out there now for the chip shot, and he drills it. So Thomas Clucky remains perfect on the season. 2 for 2 today. And the most recent 3 has put Toledo back out in front. Thomas Hammock so proud of his Huskies last week, but he says, we don't hope to win, we expect to win. And now the $1 million question is, can they find the formula to get a win for the first time here in 2020. Toledo with the 22-yard field goal from Thomas Cluckey, and the Rockets with the first points of this half go up 27-24. The wind not a factor on a rare calm and mild day in DeKalb. Here comes Trayvon Rudolph, and he is stopped at the 18. Special teams coverage by Toledo. Flying downfield was the backup cornerback Noah Hamlin to greet Rudolph. So Toledo with some momentum, especially defensively. And the question for Northern Illinois is what has happened to the offense. The Huskies had it really rocking and rolling in the first half. But in that third quarter, just 18 yards netted by Ross Bowers and what was a potent offense. So let's see if they can get something generated. Down 3, still lots of time, and now movement up front carelessly. Toledo crossing into the neutral zone, and quickly Nate Givham will leave the lineup.
Offside, number 48, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So a free 5 yards given to Northern Illinois. Givham, he's a good disruptor. He's an experienced player, and it just looked like he guessed wrong in the count, trying to get that quick start. It's probably not a coincidence if you look at what has changed for Toledo. They've been able to get a little bit more pressure on Bowers in this second half. 1st and 5 after the penalty at the 24. Whaley is the running back. He has rushed for over 100 yards today. He will get the call, testing the waters over on that left side, and not much, maybe a yard. Second down coming up after the penalties. 2nd down and 5. Whaley unable to find much room in this second half. Remember, he had 110 at halftime. He's netted just the 1 yard in this second half. This defensive line for Toledo getting more physical. They bring the safety blitz off the edge with Ford. Bowers sees a one-on-one matchup. He'll loft it up, and it's incomplete. A lot of jockeying. Tyson Anderson battling Robinson, and a good job by Anderson forcing a 3rd down. So again, we talked about the pressure. There's another knockdown. They're able to get to Bowers. Bowers with a good decision. He'll take his chances, lofting that ball up to Dennis Robinson, but Tyson Anderson with him every step of the way. Bowers still looking for his first completion in this second half. Now 0 for 4. 3rd down, Toledo will rush 4. They drop 7 into coverage. Little drag route, making the catches. Ritchie makes a nice adjustment, and he'll sprint to the 38 and a 1st down. He caught that ball about a yard shy of where he needed to be. Quickly turned the head, got the legs moving, and the first completion of the second half goes to the most skilled receiver in this Husky lineup. Fresh set of downs at the 36. See big number 91, that's Jamal Hines. They like to move him around that defensive line. He lines up over the left tackle, Cox, for this 1st down play. Good protection. Again, they're going to take a shot into double coverage, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Ritchie again. That time the safety was there to help out. Sam Womack. We've called his name throughout the past few years. A mainstay defender. He had help over the top this time from Tyson Anderson. Ritchie's had a big day. 7 catches, 111 yards. He becomes the first Husky since Kenny Galladay to register 4 100-yard receiving games in a season. Left side trying to get to the edge is Whaley, and a good open field tackle by Anderson. Back-to-back plays. Who does Toledo look to when you need plays? your veterans, and Anderson is one of those guys, showing his ability in the secondary as a pass coverage specialist, and that time lending support to the ground game. Ritchie goes to the left. Robinson and Rudolph to the right. Whaley the backfield, flanking Bowers. Rudolph in motion, third down. Pressure coming, Bowers in trouble, and a flag flies. And I think there was movement up front with Northern. Let's wait and hear.
False start, number 69, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
It's Nolan Potter. Remember, he was caught with a hold earlier in the game, and this time a little antsy. He sensed the pressure. Number 69, that little flinch at right tackle. It wasn't much, but it was enough. And now Bowers in this playbook looking at third and double digits. What a job by Vince Karras and this Toledo defense in the second half, after getting picked apart in the first two quarters. Third down and 12. Press coverage up and down the line. Bowers flush. Has room if he wants to take off, he will. 30, 35, up near the 40, well shy of the first down. And Northern Illinois will be looking at fourth down with 8:43 to go. And if you're Thomas Hammock, do you keep the offense on the field and risk giving up precious field position? He says no. He will send out the punting unit. And again, it's this Toledo defense coming up with another big stop. Vince Karras told us on the press conference one of the first things he noticed on film when he was deciding whether he wanted this job, he noticed the energy level just tapered off last year for the Rockets defensively. He wanted that energy level to be maintained throughout, to be able to overcome adversity throughout the course of the game. I'd say so far in this second half, the Rocket D listening to their young leader, Karras. Toledo by 3 from DeKalb. Good one in DeKalb here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Little action on ESPN. Toledo by 3. 48 points, over 600 yards offense in the first half. Completely different story in this second half. Carter Bradley making his first start of the year in there for the injured Eli Peters, and he has been really good. 26 of 41. He's thrown for a couple of touchdowns, 367 yards through the air. Now with 8:13, can they work on this clock a little bit as they give it to Micah Kelly? And Kelly falling ahead for a couple of yards. For the second straight game, no Shaquille Seymour in this Toledo offense. Our thoughts and prayers going out to Shaquille. He lost his mother a few weeks back, Andrea. He's certainly been a big part of the ground game throughout his career. Last year, that 1-2 punch of Koback and Seymour, but today it's been Koback and Kelly. And in particular, Kelly in the second half. Bradley with a play fake, trying to add to his career day, and he does. Beautiful throw to Winstead. That's a first down for the Rockets. Now there is a flag down in the backfield, and I think Bradley was popped late. Flag thrown where Bradley let that one fly, and judging by his reaction, he sprinted up over toward Winstead as receiver. He was all fired up.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 5, defense, contacted the head of the quarterback. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Just got to stay away from the head. Michael Kennedy, number 5, with the left hand and the helmet. 15-yard infraction tacked on to the end of the completion. So Toledo leading by 3. They have a little bit of an offensive rhythm about them all of a sudden in this fourth quarter, and the Rockets continuing to work on this game clock. Clucky's field goal the difference right now. In motion is Maddox. They fake the jet sweep, will hand it off, and Kelly gets a yard. Yeah, you look at Carter Bradley in his sophomore year for Toledo, sitting behind Eli Peters this year. Bradley, highly touted recruit. His father, Gus Bradley, the former head coach, Jacksonville, now currently the defensive coordinator for the LA Chargers. He played in the Elite 11 finals, which traditionally is reserved for the top quarterbacks in the nation. Chose Toledo over Louisville and Ole Miss. He had numerous options coming out of high school, and he throws on the run, and he throws a strike. Another first down for the Rockets to the 28. Maddox with his second catch of the day. Devin Maddox, very similar to a Ronnie Blackman. Elusive, and he found a hole in the zone that time, and he took it from there. And looked like he got rolled up underneath the bottom of that pile, so he's going to limp off. An injury timeout utilized. Bradley's thrown for over 400 yards. Can Campbell and the Rockets hang on? A critical one for the MAC West. How about Eastern Michigan winless this year? They go up 2 on Western, still second quarter, and Ball State has grabbed the lead on Central Michigan. That game also in the first half. A good one and a climactic finish here from DeKalb today. Toledo by 3, and the Rockets on the move with Carter Bradley and this offensive production today. 1st and 10 from the 29. Devin Maddox, by the way, able to walk off on his own power. Bradley will keep it going, has a lot of room to run if he wants, and he will. Inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. 14 more yards for Bradley, and the Rockets are inside the red zone. We've seen this on occasion, his ability to keep the eyes downfield, but he realized the situation there, did not want to risk it, and instead just picked up the positive yards. And yeah, you saw the thought process. That was Blackman running free toward the back of the end zone, and Bradley did not want to roll the die there. First down, they have it at the 15. And movement on the offensive line.
Ball start, number 63, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Parker Bisick. But let's not forget the effort of this offensive line today for Toledo. They have kept Bradley on his feet all afternoon, giving up 5 sacks a week ago. They have not surrendered 1 today. You see it at right guard, that little flinch. Gurman, Durger, Harris, Bisick, Long, and Rossi have played well. Makeshift offensive line. Here is Kelly squirting through a hole back to the original line of scrimmage. Brought down by Lafayette, who's been active from a safety position. So this is exactly what Toledo was hoping for on this drive. They have eaten up over more than 3 minutes off the game clock. They pushed the ball into a scoring opportunity. Obviously, they want a touchdown, trying to make this a 2-possession game. A field goal still keeps it within striking distance for Northern. 2nd down and 10. Bradley, look at the time. He'll take a shot. Blackman's there. Touchdown. Ronnie Blackman. And the Rockets go up 9. Again, it all starts with the protection up front. Clear vision. And if you recall, Blackman on a similar route just a few plays ago was open. Bradley elected not to pass it. That time, Carter with clear vision let her fly. And how about the poise of the young sophomore? He marches Toledo down the field, and the Rockets lead by 10. A career day for the sophomore. The future looks bright for Toledo. Bradley's touchdown pass has the Rockets up 10. It's been quite a 2020 starting debut for Carter Bradley. This is a young man that started 2 games last year. He has come off the bench twice this season. The first time was against Eastern Michigan, completed 5 of 8 for a couple of touchdowns. Fumbled late last week after Eli Peters was knocked out. Look at the numbers. I'd say he's filled the void. 29 of 44, both career highs. The 432 yards, a career high. 3 touchdowns, just his 3rd career start. And let's not forget, one of those 2 interceptions was a deflected ball at the line of scrimmage. Terrific day for the young Bradley. And now Northern Illinois is in some trouble. But you can bet, you don't have to look that far back if you're Toledo and that bizarre finish at Western Michigan where they thought they had the game in line and under control, and the Broncos with the ferocious rally, really a difference maker in this MAC season. So now the question for Toledo, can they finish it up 10? Game that has witnessed 4 lead changes and 911 yards offense, 579 coming from Toledo. Bowers and company, first down, pressure off the edge, and Bowers is crushed back inside the 10. Bowers never saw it. And it's been these creative blitz packages from Vince Karras. And no chance for Ross Bowers. 2nd sack of the day. Here comes another blitz with Deontay Johnson. They pick it up. Throw toward the sideline is, let's see, caught. Yes, they're going to say control established at the 20. And we'll see if Toledo takes a look at this.
3rd down.
Terrific concentration as we take another look at it. Crawford, the tight end. See if he has control. Well, it's going to hold. NIU wise to launch a quick play, not let that go upstairs, but the pass is too tall for Crawford this time. And now it becomes a critical 4th down for Northern Illinois. 4th and 7 for the Huskies. They need to get it to the 27. Bowers with just the 2 completions in this second half after a productive first half. They run a stunt, picked up. He'll take a shot, and the throw is too tall. Ritchie had the inside position. Justin Clark with the coverage, and Toledo will take over. And here comes some post-play flags. Boy, there was a lot of talking. And let's wait and see what the flag is about. There was jawing. Ritchie has been talking with these corners all afternoon. That time it was Justin Clark involved in the heated conversation.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 24, defense. The down counts. It'll be 1st and 10 Toledo, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
So instead of taking over at the 20, Toledo will now take over at the 35, and that's an experienced player in Clark. And he certainly heard it from the Toledo coaches, but he does come up with a big defensive play and take another look. Again, that was Ritchie. He had the inside position, but that throw from Bowers just too tall, and there was the post-whistle MAC rivalry acquaintance between these 2 traditionally strong programs. Very emotional Justin Clark. You can bet Toledo just feels snake bit. They've had 2 games down to the wire not go their way, and they're anxious to turn their fortunes around here in DeKalb. And now they will go with the ground game, a steady dose of it for the final 3.5 minutes, and NIU will use the timeout.
Timeout. Northern Illinois. First charge timeout of the half. Be a 30-second timeout. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 3 minutes, 43 seconds. 3, 4, 3 on the clock, please.
Consistent winners throughout the past decade, that has been Toledo. 10 consecutive seasons with a winning record. They won the MAC in 2017. They were disappointed with how last year finished. They were just ransacked with key injuries late in the year a season ago. And here in 2020, Jason Campbell told us really it's been about 17 minutes of football and his team's ability to overcome adversity. Those 17 minutes, a terrible start last week. They trailed Ball State 24-3. And then the closing 3 minutes earlier this year against Western Michigan, in which they squandered a late 10-point lead. They brought in the running quarterback. This is Daquan Finn, the redshirt freshman from Detroit. He is tackled 2 yards shy of the first down, and Northern Illinois will use another timeout.
Second charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Finn brings a different element to this offense with his ability to run the football, the 2018 Michigan Mr. Football. If you're Finn, you're just hanging on to that ball with both hands as tight as you can. Toledo in control, leading by 10. But going back to Jason Campbell, he was so proud of the way his team has been able to bounce back from some really heartbreaking losses. He thought they had a good week of preparation leading into this game. They were able to bounce back after the loss to Western. They put a number on Eastern Michigan, who, as we speak, is on top of Western. So team continues to grow for Toledo on this third down play, and it will be Micah Kelly falling ahead for the first down, tackled at the 23, and that's a big one. Clock will stop to move the chains, but then they will use all of this play clock and in a good position to milk down this clock in DeKalb. The story of this football game, besides Carter Bradley and this high-powered offense of Toledo, the second half defense from coordinator Vince Karras and the Rockets. Northern Illinois with 294 yards in the first half, just 43 in this second half. Trying to get to the corner, nowhere to go, and Finn is chased down back at the 25. Northern with only 3 second half first downs. Vince Karras brought in his first year as defensive coordinator, the head coach at traditional powerhouse Mount Union the past 8 years, went 95-6 during his time as the head coach. Couple Raiders winning the national title in 2017, and he certainly has brought a different mindset to the Toledo defense in 2020 and moving forward. Second down and 12 at the 25. They will hand the ball off. Getting to the outside is Kelly, and he's free to the 5, and he is in. Touchdown. An exclamation point for the Rockets. Micah Kelly, who has been instrumental in this second half, he hasn't seen a lot of the workload, but on his carries, he has made the most. And that time able to get to the outside, run past some would-be defenders for 6. Kelly with a rushing touchdown in Toledo with 17 unanswered second half points. And the Rockets have put this game on ice today. 41-24 Toledo. And the second half tally shows it all. Look at that production. 257 to just the 41 yards for Northern Illinois. Thomas Hammock, another frustrating finish for his young Husky team, the second youngest squad in the country, and he will continue to try to work. He thought they hit what it took as far as expectations for preparation prior to the Western Michigan game. Coach who I loved how he described his approach. It's my job to find somebody better than you. It's your job to make sure I don't find somebody better than you. And that's been his approach with this freshman class. He says he's been harder on this freshman group than he was on last year's senior laden team, just because these are his guys. These are his recruits. So he has been very demanding of them each and every week in practice. And a team that was in this game up until this fourth quarter, and it's just part of the rung on the ladder as you continue to grow and live with the youth that you currently have. And there's plenty of bright spots. We've seen that today. But all in all, that young secondary just ripped apart. Carter Bradley and this experienced fleet of wide receivers from Toledo. 1st and 10 from the 25. Bowers looks, settles along the far side, pass is caught. Clock will continue to run, unable to get out of bounds. As Dennis Robinson, his first catch of the day. One more chance for Northern Illinois to get a win, and it won't be easy next week when they head to Eastern. Trip to Ypsilanti. Bowers pass off the fingertips of Crawford, incomplete. One more week to go. Everything amplified this year with the condensed down MAC schedule. Northern heads to Ypsilanti, a game you can watch on ESPN3, while Toledo will close out the season at home against Central Michigan. The Rockets looking on the outside. They need a lot of help to get back into the MAC West championship talk. 3rd down and 3 for Bowers. He'll float right and tried to force it to his tight end Crawford, but there was Anderson again. Tyson Anderson has been all over the field defensively for Toledo today, and this set up a 4th down, and again more pushing and shoving post whistle. Northern Illinois always describes it as Toledo week. That's all they say when the Rockets come to DeKalb. And these two teams, we talked about their tradition. They go 1-2 as far as most wins by MAC programs since 2010. So usually the road to Detroit veers through DeKalb or Toledo, at least this past decade. Robinson with another catch. Huskies line up quickly. Bowers will take a shot deep. Receiver open. That's Torre, and he catches in stride. A flag is down in the secondary as Mohamed Torre with the big gainer, and let's see what the flag's about.
Legal substitution. Defense, more than 11 players on the field at the snap. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a 1st down.
I think Bowers knew he had a free play. He kind of jockeyed with his left arm as if to tell his receivers to go deep right before the snap, and Mohamed Torre got that message. Went right by the defender Clark. He thought he had help from the safety Holt. It never showed up. So that's the last thing on earth Toledo wanted to give up. Minute 10 to go, and now a whistle before the snap. And the Toledo coaches not happy. Timeout Rockets.
Toledo, second charge timeout of the half.
And you wouldn't blame them for being a little gun shy after what we talked about with that Western Michigan game. That was about as bizarre a finish as you're going to see. So even though they're looking to be in a pretty good position, up 17, see that calming influence coming in from Jason Candle saying, let's just finish. Toledo can hang on and win this football game. And you look at the MAC West and how it is stacking up. Western still unbeaten at 4-0. Remember, they're trailing Eastern Michigan right now as we speak. Ball State and Central Michigan in a tight one in Mount Pleasant today. While out east, a couple of games canceled because of COVID-19 has really opened up the door for Buffalo to wrap up the MAC East title next week when they host winless Akron. Northern Illinois trying to get some late points. Bowers inside the red zone. Ross Bowers wanted to go left, flushed, escapes the pocket, and simply tosses it away. So Justin Clark kind of rolled an ankle. He's hobbling to his cornerback spot. These corners have really played well in this second half. Clark, McDonald, and Womack, 3 experienced back-end defenders for Toledo. 3rd down. Bowers pressure up the middle, and he is swallowed up, spun down by Deontay Johnson. The team's leading tackler in his first year starting gets the sack. And Northern Illinois will use their final timeout with 4th down coming up.
Northern Illinois.
They talked about Johnson's speed, and
team timeout of the half.
just see him shed the running back Whaley. That's a couple of times today where Whaley has had some issues with the pass protection. Deontay Johnson, part of that program at Cass Tech, led Tech to a Michigan State title, an undefeated regular season a couple of years ago. And well, he really brings some athleticism to the inside linebacker position. That was an area of concern for Coach Karras on that side of the football, but he made a special point to single out Johnson and Daniel Bolden and A.J. Kreider, who is finally getting healthy. Northern needs 3 scores, so they'll try to take one here and a couple of onside kicks. Richardson with the field goal has plenty of leg, and he hooked it left, no good. So you see what Hammock was doing. He knew he needed 3 scores, so let's take the 3 and then hope for a little DeKalb magic. But Richardson wide left with the field goal attempt, and Toledo is going to figure out a way to get a win here at Northern. And the Rockets will improve to 3-2. And what a game for their young quarterback moving forward with Carter Bradley. 29 of 44 for 432 yards. 3 touchdowns for Bradley. In a game that at one point we were up to 996 yards of total offense. Toledo